Hi, everybody. So, we're starting back story time. What is story time? Story time is when I read either a snippet of a poem or a complete poem, and then we talk about it. So, for those of you who have been keeping up, we're doing the 7 layers of transformation that is inspired by the 7 chapters of my spoken word book that in real life, in real time, those themes of those chapters can take you through a transformational process. So we went through identity, understanding who you are, asking those hard questions about what you identify with, and then now we're in girl in a woman's world, right? But like I said before, this is not just a girl in a woman's world. This is gonna be a man and a woman, a boy in a man's world. This is survival. This is pushing through the struggles. This is redemption. That's what this is about. And a lot to do with single parenting, people who are parents. So when I say a single parent, I'm not talking about somebody who's not in a relationship but a parent. If the other person is involved and actively involved, or at least trying to really be involved, then you don't qualify. You don't know what we went through, you know? And I'm sure there's some people out there who were incarcerated, who were sick, or whatever their reasons for not being involved. But if you are a person who, when that wasn't the case, you still were not, you have no excuse. But we're talking to the people who held it down every day, no matter what. The single parent, okay? Because sometimes people always want to attack that person, always want to have something to say, but you're not in their shoes. It's even some mothers out there that probably went through some things that I went through. Trying to be patient with the other parent so that your child can have that. And if they don't do right, that they step on their own shoes, not you. Because you don't want your child to hate you. You don't want your child to blame you. Let them show their own actions. You have to allow that. And don't force it. Because then when you force it, then you're the one that have to sit there and watch the pain in your child's face when they don't show up to when they said they were going to pick them up for something. Or it's empty promises. Or they see them this month and then now it's 6 months later and where the fuck are they? After giving them all these promises and all of this or that. Don't force it. Because ask yourself, does somebody have to force you to be a child, to be a parent every day? And there's a lot of people out there that, with parents, single parent, when that other parent that's not there says stuff about you to the masses or whatever, don't let it get to you. They have to do that because they don't have an excuse. They have to try to make you look like the reason why they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You cannot dwell on that. All you can do is keep doing what you do every day. Your child sees it. Your child knows if they're calling their phone or not. Your child knows if they're putting in the work or not. So don't dwell for whoever needs to hear this. Caring about what somebody else has to say. Your friends, your family, and your child knows what's going on every day. And that's what matters. That's what's going to count when it's all said and done. That's what's going to tell the story. The child. They're going to, as long as you're not arguing all the time, making this super hard, and you're just letting them play however they're going to play things out, then you're doing what you're supposed to do. And you're just being a parent every day. Period. Now, sometimes they might get under your skin, and you do get off on them. Say something they don't like. So what? So what? That happens every blue moon. You're human. Don't be mad at yourself if they use that one thing and try to, that's why I can't deal with them. Oh, if somebody says something that you didn't like one time or 2 times, that's don't stop you from trying to be a parent or prove it wrong. I'm not going to get in detail, but I have experienced things to where I have more than enough of a reason to be like, no, you can never be around my child ever. Like, no, that's not intelligent as a parent. But somewhere inside of me, I found a healing to where, you know what, I'm going to let the universe play out and see what happens. And people remove themselves if that's not really what they're ready for. or not with the work that has to go with that, or whatever has to come with that. It's just, internal. So don't blame yourself. Don't allow your child to feel like they're missing something. Make sure they're still around family, around friends, and around community. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to get into this poem for whoever needs to hear it, just because you may just be feeling like that, and you're not alone. Just keep pushing through. There's a better day, okay? So I'm just going to read you the first half of Heavy Heart, Struggling Mom. And this is a part of the Heavy Heart trilogy in my poetry book that's talking about things to be lifted off the heart. Because I'm a true believer, I understand that a lot of sicknesses and illnesses and things of that nature come from having a heavy heart. From things just weighing on your system and your body. So whatever it is, release it. Release it. Okay, heavy heart, struggling mom. I'm talking about the weight from the days. My first tear of the day wasn't from watching a friend leave with the EMT. It was from being that happy food came on my EBT, while outside eyes envy me like I'm MVP. While I'm in the mirror stressing, trying to see and believe in what they see in me. Get off of IG, please. My life off screens, I was dealing with the weight from telling my son the clearest play. But every word left my face feeling fake, because deep down I hope he don't. Because I only had enough for one plate and my stomach feel like it's poking bone. While haters petty poking over who holds some throne, leave me alone. But just so you know, help has always been in arm's reach in my fam's house. I just dwelled in too much pride to put my hand out to old souls filled with I told you so's. Plus, I'm well aware we're all our worst enemy, so I'm not looking for that single mother sympathy. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't hindering, enduring the worrying of where did the knowledge stem from to raise a man when I've never been one. Plus, sometimes I struggle with sanity, observing humanity with dazed eyes fused with vanity, looking like mannequins ran by the Vatican, asking then, how do I raise a Luke when his daddy's an Anakin? So that's as much as I'm going to read today of Heavy Heart, Struggling Mom. And you can find the poetry book either on the link in my bio or on Amazon. And for the person who is struggling right now, who's trying to make ends meet, especially if you live out here in California and Los Angeles, it's not that easy, And parenting is designed for more than one person to handle that, so that the child can do certain things to prevail in life, Luckily, my son hasn't really lacked anything, but we can all wish to be able to do more, It takes a village. If you have a village, don't be too prideful, like I talked about in this poem, I don't want to take no handouts, I don't want it to look like this and this, and then your child is deprived. If those days come, and somebody's willing to have your back, let them do that. And then on the day when you can have their back, have theirs. That's the village. That's the village that's raising the children. It's kids that I love. That's my son friends. I snatch them up and take them places, and they mom be so happy. Like, they wouldn't have went there if you didn't take them, or wouldn't have went there yet. We share and show each other's children different experiences. When my son goes to their home, they get to see that dynamic of a husband and a wife and the kids. And he gets to experience that. So it's different things that we can show each other and we can do together as a village. So single parent, and I'm talking to single fathers too. There's a lot of fucked up ass women out here because I know men who are really trying to be fathers, and I know men that are single fathers. It's a lot of women that are out here leaving their children behind, or trying so hard to snatch a child from the father that's actually trying hard, and they're not having it, that they're just belligerent about it. They're belligerent. They're mad that they can't make them look bad, so they can have an excuse for leaving the household, going and cheating and doing this and that. But they're not giving them a reason for real. And for anyone that's getting those stories on the other end from the parents of it's always two sides to a story. So before you start to attack women who somebody said they don't let me see the child, or men, whatever, and they're saying this or saying that, make sure you know your facts. Make sure you know. But somebody said that about me. When I used to try to force it. So, be at peace. Don't worry about what anybody has to say. Do you. Be strong in doing you. Push through. Because this is a crazy world. And you got to put on your grown man drawers, your grown woman panties, and all of that. Because you don't have time to be a girl in a woman's world, or a boy in a man's world. And I'm talking to the young parents, really. Because I was a young parent. I was 17, turning 18 years old when I got pregnant with my son. So, there's things that come with that. But it's okay. Everything can be okay. It's a process. Don't you let nobody tear you down. And you be the best parent that you could possibly be. Rather if anybody else wants to be involved or not. And if you can get a good step parent, hey. But don't force it. Okay, love and light, you guys. Peace. Have a great day. And we're going to keep this going. Okay? Talk to you soon.